Legaina, I'm not sure if I'm gonna make sense. Ke tlo understand ha ke tlo utlwana. Mara ke na le bothata, right? Here is my problem. My problem is the social media platforms re di berekisang. Di na le so-called community guidelines where you can report a specific video if it's offensive, harm, misleading, what, right? And that social media platform says, no, we don't see wrong with this video, right? Now, there is no law that governs internet and what goes on the internet because every little thing is sits anywhere. So there cannot be a law. I just read, Constitutional Code, Cyber Security Act, Cyber what Act from South Africa. Mara pila. There isn't a law that governs the internet because you can only prosecute people the things that sit somewhere else. But the laws of the country of South Africa says even though the thing that's sitting there, as long as it hammer locals in South Africa, that's when we can use that as a platform. But the platform doesn't remove it and say your video, because we've scrutinized it, we've checked it, affects or it's under it's misleading, it's wrong, then we remove it. So they don't. Social media platforms, they don't remove it. They leave it like that because of it didn't affect their community guidelines, not South African community guidelines. We've got organizations come South Africa like the Chamber of Churches, Chamber of Traditional Healers. When I look at the religions spike le mathata a religion on social media platform, the Chamber of Churches and the Chamber of Traditional Healers was supposed to say this is against our traditions and the morality or the of how we as an organizations in South Africa do. So you social media giant, you need to respect our traditions and our community guidelines as South Africans. They don't. I'm having a big debate because of when do we make a video on social media platform evidence go court if community guidelines of that social media platform you did not harm. Now who do we harm in this platform? Do we harm the people of that country or do we harm the social media account? Because if you post a picture, get something, the social media account without people will remove it and say this is against our community guideline. But the people will laugh or get joke. Now, in the near future, somebody else posts something. The community says this is against our community guideline. The social media account doesn't remove it. Actually, it wants this video to actually gain traction so they can sell more money. They can sell with this video that's actually harming the real South Africans who are affected. So they are getting back and forth. They are truth, non-truth. They are truth, non-truth. Who do we harm in this platform? If a social media account comes into South Africa, does it adopt the traditions and the laws of this country? Or bona their own, have their own community guideline? Look at how all the videos and content and evidence, everything you're watching based on social media that is against. It's a racism and what. That where did they find that? They find it on social media platforms. Didn't the social media platform remove it first before it spikes interest and controversy in the country? No, they didn't. Now, community guidelines, where do they apply? The rule of law, where does it apply on the internet? Bona me bra. Social media is not internet. Social media is part of internet gateway. So I can have my website hosted somewhere else and say whatever I want to say on that website. It won't be. It won't be governed. But when you say things on social media platforms, that's supposed to have so-called community guidelines. Are that South African community guidelines or not? And if not, then who has the right to say that's wrong, that's right on social media platform? Is it us, the community? Do we choose the community, or is it a social media platform? try to report a video on social media platform, say this is against culture, what. The question, whose culture are you talking about? The social media platform or your culture? That's the big question. There's no law for internet. Social media platform is part of internet. It's not internet. It's part of gateway towards internet. There's no law. But to protect humanity, rights and stuff, what you say can be used as evidence in a court of law. But still, there's no law. There's no law. There's no right and wrong. But who has the right to say this is right? And who has the right to say this is wrong? No one.